we all just be honest for a moment, it feels like life costs so much these days. Between skyrocketing grocery prices, the Bureau of Labor Statistics recently reported that grocery prices have climbed by over 12% since October of 2021, rent prices being through the roof right now, and interest rates only continuing to go up. Finding new and creative ways to save is top of mind for a lot of us right now, but fortunately, it can be easier than you think. And so today, I want to look at 10 effortless ways that we save money that require doing hardly anything so you can save money without even really trying. My hope is that this gives you some ideas and inspiration on ways that you can save as you pursue your financial goals. I'm excited to get into this. This really is one of my favorite topics. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Let's get started with one of my favorite effortless ways to save, and that's to get your inventory back to zero. One trend that I've noticed a lot in recent years is that where in the past people would typically go out and just buy the things that they needed, today we'll buy things because they look interesting or appealing or even just fun to try, without paying any attention to if they may already have similar items in their own possession. And I'll raise my hand for this one. This is something that I've been guilty of in the past, especially for certain categories. One of the big ones for me was that in the past I would go out and buy new books when I already had ones on my reading list sitting on my shelves at home. Or I'd go out and buy a candle that smelled great when I already had several others at home still awaiting use. If that's something that you're guilty of or that you've done in the past, whether that's with makeup, with candles, with books, with cleaning supplies, or other household essentials, one easy way to save money is just to make sure that before you go out and buy something new, you've brought your inventory for that category to zero. So read all your books, use up all your candles, make sure that you're on the last little bit of your makeup before going out and buying something new. And this really is such an easy way to make sure that we're not spending money on things that we don't need, that we're not accumulating excess, and that we're really getting the full use out of the items that we own. What's so great about this one is it requires no extra effort, but even more than that, it actually reduces the effort involved, because rather than going out and buying something new, you're actually just using things that you already have. All right, but then let's talk about a big one for consumables, and that's to know your non-negotiables and then shop store brands. And real talk, occasionally buying a brand name matters. In my experience, Bounty paper towels just always works better. But most of the time, you'll hardly even notice the difference or may even like the store brand better. So in trying to save money, my suggestion is just to pick the few store brands that really matter most to you and then go generic for everything else. And so for me, when I'm grocery shopping, this looks like buying brand name oat milk. I always buy Oatly. It's the only one that doesn't separate when I put it in my tea or coffee. Tastes amazing, and I do really notice the difference after having tried several store brands. But then for most other things, whether that's yogurt, granola, baking essentials, the list goes on, I shop mostly the generic brand. This is a great way to make it so that you don't need to sacrifice the things that you love, but can still save money as you're shopping. Of course, I think the obvious application for this one is with groceries, but I'd also encourage you to think through how you might be able to use this idea in other areas as well. Maybe it's with makeup or skincare, and there's one premium product that you absolutely love and swear by, but then you opt for mostly more affordable options to fill in the rest of your routine. Often the generic or more affordable options work or taste better than you might think, so I'd really recommend trying out and switching to some of those as an easy way to save money. But then for those brand name items or high turnover goods, another great way to save is to stock up on sales. I feel like I need to preface this one with just saying, be realistic. How much will you actually be able to use before either it goes bad or begins taking up more space than it's worth? I want you to ask yourself that going into this. But within reason, buying a bit extra when things are on sale can be a great way to save money, not just on your current, but also future purchases. I'll say this one's especially helpful for things that you tend to go through quite regularly, those high turnover goods. So you better believe when I see my Oatly oat milk on a good sale, I'm gonna buy 2 cartons, if not 3. The same thing goes for apples, toilet paper, paper towels, and just all the things that I find myself using regularly. So I'm all for taking advantage of sales and using them as an opportunity to stock up. You just really want to make sure, again, that you're actually going to be using the things that you buy, because if not, that really is just a waste of money. And so rather than saving, you're throwing money out the window, as my mom would always say growing up. Then another very low effort way to save is just to change your default option. Do you often shop in a more premium or higher end grocery store? Why not pick a more affordable option to frequent? When you're looking for new furniture or clothing or a car, do you always default to looking to buy new? Why not instead see if you might be able to find those items secondhand? By simply changing up your default option of where you're looking to buy something first, you really can stand to save a lot of money without putting in extra effort. It just takes a little bit of intentionality. A few ways that I've personally been trying to do this are, rather than always shopping at Target, which is the closest to us, and mind you, it isn't a premium retailer by any stretch, but Lidl is cheaper and it's just a few extra minutes away from us. I've been trying to shop there more often. But then also too, we're planning several home updates in the next few months, and rather than frequenting West Elm, which is one of my favorite retailers, I've instead been looking on Facebook Marketplace for more affordable options. It's an easy way to save money. Of course, those are just a couple of examples, but evaluate what are the places that you frequent and how might you be able to save money by simply changing your default option where you go to first. And for those of you who might struggle at times with impulse purchases, I really want you to pay attention to this next one. That's to remove autofill from your phone and computer. With every passing year that goes by, companies are trying to make it as quick and easy as possible for you to spend money without feeling it. In the past, we'd have to get out our wallet and physically exchange money for the item that we wanted to buy. And even a few years ago, we had to get out a credit card and swipe that to make a purchase. Nowadays, all you need to do is tap a button and all of your information is filled out before you can even blink. And on one hand, you might think, well, that's great. Who doesn't want the convenience of that? But the problem with that is that it makes it so easy for you to buy things that often it doesn't give you that chance to pause and to reflect and to ask yourself, do I actually need this thing? And so by simply removing your credit or debit card information from your phone and computer can make it so that you kind of have that built-in buffer, that chance as you'd have to go and get your card to be able to evaluate, do I actually think that this purchase is something that I'm going to love and to use long term? Does this purchase make financial sense for me? Simply by adding back in that small bit of a buffer can help you to save money and make more intentional purchases. And really, if that simple act can help you to refrain from making a handful of purchases that you didn't need over the course of the month, that can not only result in significant savings, but also be well worth those few extra seconds you need to be able to go and get your credit card information if and when a purchase is actually worth it for you. All right, but then on the same note of trying to make mindless shopping harder for ourselves, another great easy thing that you can do is just to delete shopping apps. And if you, like so many people today, often spend so much time online shopping in a given week that it's practically become a hobby for you, I really want to encourage you to take steps to make that harder. Delete those apps from your phone, remove the bookmarks from your browser, unsubscribe from the emails, and really just try to set a few extra barriers to accessing those platforms. And what you'll find when you do this is it really takes the habitual routine, the mindlessness out of online shopping, makes it so that you have to be a lot more intentional about it. You're going to your browser, to your laptop, and actually having to type in all of the details to go exactly where you're looking for, rather than just mindlessly opening up an app. And so this really is just about making small shifts, small changes that will help you form better habits. Then another quick but impactful one is just to shop with a list. When you're headed to the store, make sure that you're going in with a list, with a plan, so that you're not at the mercy of end cap sales or items that you don't really need. This is just one of those really quick and basic things that you can do to make sure that you're buying the right items and not overbuying. The real key to success with this one though is that when you make a list, you actually need to stick to it. Don't go grabbing extra items because you're hungry or because they look good and you want to try them out. Really try to be intentional about coming home only with the things that you put on that list. But then if you've tried that, it's still something that you struggle with, or it was helpful, but you want to take it a step further, another great thing that you can do is just to use curbside pickup for your groceries. That way you aren't even tempted by all the displays that going into a store entails. Now I will say I do love using this option for buying staples, but if I'm trying to buy a lot of fruits and vegetables, I will typically avoid this option. Just in my experience, I really like to be able to look through everything and select what's fresh so that I can make sure that nothing's going to waste. There are few things that frustrate me more than paying good money for things like grapes or raspberries on online pickup, only for them to arrive and them already to be on their way out and bad within a few days. To me, that's just such a waste, and so I do like to pick out my own fruits and vegetables, but then for most other items, I'm happy to do it on online pickup. I do want to make that distinction too. I always do pickup rather than delivery. I don't want to have that extra fee of having my groceries delivered for me. I'm happy to just drive that extra little bit, pick them up myself, and save the money. All right, we're making our way to the end of our list. Another tip that we've really been able to save a lot from is to time big purchases strategically. Throughout the year, many companies will plan price drops into their calendar to sell off excess inventory, to make space for the new season's goods, or to strategically increase sales around different holidays. And so knowing that, a great strategy can be just to time some of your bigger purchases around those discounts so that you can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So if you need new clothing, try waiting till August or just after Christmas, as that's going to be when clothing prices are typically at their lowest. Maybe you're wanting to get a new TV or some kind of electronic. The best timing for that is typically going to be somewhere around Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Cars are typically cheapest in October through December as the new models are coming in, and the list really goes on. This is something that we did in the past year. We knew that we wanted a new cordless vacuum and to replace our old TV, so we just waited until the brands, the models that we wanted were available at a discount and purchased them then, which saved us hundreds of dollars. So if there's a big purchase that you're planning to make or something that you're wanting to invest in, I'd highly recommend taking a few minutes to do a bit of research, figure out what time of year you're going to be able to pay the least for that item, and then just sync up that purchase with when that item is going to be on sale or available at a discount. Then finally, let's end this off with what has easily been the most impactful, effortless thing that we've done to help us save money, and that's just to automate your savings. Set up your savings so that they automatically go out of your checking account every single month, just like your utilities or subscriptions. You want to have that happen right when you get paid. And the real benefit of making sure that that money isn't just sitting in your account is it makes it so that you can't mentally factor it into your spending for the month, and 100% of that money can go towards your savings. We have this set up for our retirement accounts, our investment accounts, and I love that every single month I know I'm just saving on autopilot. Of course, over time, our income as well as what we spend does tend to fluctuate, so it's always good to reevaluate this every few months or every month, especially if your income is pretty variable. But honestly, the more you can do to put your savings on autopilot, the better. Then along the same lines, if you own a home, a great little pro tip can be just to set up your mortgage payments so that every single month you're putting extra money towards the principal. Just like with automating savings, this is something that you can set and forget, but it's going to help you to pay off your home faster. It'll make it so that you owe less in interest. It will also help you to build equity in your home. So I really do just love things like this that make saving easier. Okay, but that's the list. Those are 10 very easy and low effort things that we like to do to save money. And I really hope that this list gives you some ideas, some inspiration, maybe even some motivation on ways that you can save money as you pursue your financial goals. Now, I would love to know what are some easy and very low effort ways that you like to save money. I would love to hear about them, so be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already for more simple and intentional living videos coming at you twice a week. And until next time, friends, I am wishing you all an incredible day. Good luck as you work towards your financial goals, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.